Welcome to day 9 of the Ultimate Health Challenge. So today's session is going to be a super relatable one. It's going to be lots of fun. So make sure that you're fully present here. There's nothing distracting you. There's nothing interrupting you or asking for your attention. I want you to be fully focused here with me. Let us begin with a quick recap of yesterday. So currently we are still on habit 2, which is to eat food that is living, wholesome and plant-based. Yesterday we discussed first the average digestion time for different foods, for fruits, for vegetable and for grains. Then we understood in detail 2 meal plans, the lifestyle plan and the active plan. I hope that you've created your own personal and unique meal plan and you've stuck it somewhere in your kitchen. In yesterday's session, we understood through Ganpat Ji's questioning how you can easily fulfill all your protein, calcium and other nutrient needs by following a sattvic diet. And lastly, we learned the importance of communicating your choices to your family before you start living the sattvic life. So to communicate your why and your what clearly to your family is the first way to make the habits easier to follow in a family. Another way that we discussed was to make sattvic recipes for them every once in a while. And third is to inspire and never enforce. And also you could register them for the next UHC so that they too can gain all the knowledge that you are gaining. Now come, let's take a look at today's roadmap. So in today's session, you will learn how to sustain this lifestyle. So today also is practicality continued. You know, what I have realized after past many years of sharing this knowledge with different people is that when someone starts following this kind of a lifestyle, this kind of a food habit, they experience 4 major hurdles, which you may also experience. The first is that of family life. So family doesn't support sometimes, or family wants you to not follow this, but we have learned to a certain extent how you can overcome this hurdle. We learned in yesterday's session. The second is cravings. No matter how inspired or convinced you are on your journey, there may be times when you experience cravings for the old foods that you used to eat. How do you deal with those? The next hurdle that comes about is going out to eat. So let's say you're going out for lunches or dinners with your peers, or you're traveling, you're wanting to go out to restaurants and cafes. Then what do? You just throw these habits that you've learned in the dustbin and say, for today, I don't want to remember these? Or is there a way to manage these habits even when you're going out to eat? You will learn that today. And last and the final hurdle is that of social life. How can you have a thriving social life even while living the sattvic lifestyle? In today's session, you will learn how to overcome these hurdles with ease so that there is nothing stopping you from reaching your ultimate peak health. Also, in the end of today's session, we have a surprise announcement for you that's really exciting. Make sure you don't miss it, so please stay till the very end. So our first hurdle of family life, we have already learned how to overcome. Today, we will move on to the second hurdle, and that is of cravings. Now, I know even after attending all these sessions, even after receiving all this knowledge, when the eyes see that gulab jamun or when the nose smells that golgappa, we forget everything we've learned. Suddenly, Mr. Self-Control says goodbye and we can't stop eating no matter how hard we try. The brain says, leave it, it's bad for you. But the heart says, have it, at least just a few. So how many of you experience this? Well, there is a trick, there is a formula to be able to overcome these cravings. And it's a 2-step formula, which we're going to discuss today. How to control cravings? The first way is through consistent knowledge. Now, what does that mean? In the Upanishads, there's a beautiful analogy given to explain how cravings work and how you can train your mind to defeat these cravings. In this analogy, there are 5 horses, 5 घोड़े हैं. Each horse represents one sense organ of yours. So touch is one horse, taste is the other horse, smell is the third horse, hearing is the fourth horse, and sight, vision, eyes, that's the fifth horse. Meaning your 5 senses are symbolic of the 5 horses, okay? Just like these horses run after different things, the 5 senses run after different pleasures. This sense, for example, finds pleasure in gossiping about others. This sense, on the other hand, finds pleasure in listening to gossip about others. Sense of touch wants to stay in comfortable bed till late in the night. Whereas the sense of sight wants to binge watch Netflix episodes late at night. That rhymed, by the way. And the sense of tongue, this sense, is the most dangerous of them all. This one runs after pav bhaji, gulab jamun, shawmin, Manchurian, chocolate cakes and pizzas and burgers and oily pakoras. You know, right? So these are our 5 senses and they run after different pleasures. But what are these 5 senses controlled by? They are controlled by the reins, the ropes, right? They are controlled by जो रस्सियां हैं वो उनको संभालती हैं. These reins represent your mind. हिंदी में बोले तो ये रस्सियां जो घोड़े को खींचती हैं वो आपके मन की जैसी हैं. And who are these reins controlled by? By a rider, right? Who is sitting on a chariot? So this rider is a representation of your intellect, which means intelligence, buddhi. Your intellect has the power to discriminate between right and wrong. Basically, the senses, which are the indriya, are controlled by the man, the mind. And the mind is controlled by your intellect, which is your buddhi. Now, if the rider, which is the intellect, is not trained properly, usko training nahi mili, what will happen? It may fall asleep while riding. Now, if this rider, if the intellect falls asleep, then what will happen? The 5 senses will have full control over the ropes, right? And they will all run in different directions after different things, creating a havoc. So if the intellect falls asleep, your senses run wild. And if the horses run wild, if the senses run wild, what will happen? The chariot will break, toot jayega rath. It will create a chaos. There will be no control. One day you'll be running after one sense pleasure. The other day you'll be running after another sense pleasure. And life will just simply be about running after different sense pleasures. Life will simply be about entertaining the senses. That's it. But on the other hand, if the intellect is trained, it will be awake, it will be attentive, and the horses will automatically be disciplined, walking in one direction. So let not, my dear Sattvic family, your intention be to stop or to curb the cravings. It will not happen. Let your intention simply be to awaken the intellect, to train the intellect. If the intellect is properly trained, it will keep the mind in full control. If the mind is in full control, it will keep your senses automatically in full control. and you will not be subjected to different cravings pulling you in different directions automatically. Now, what do you think? How do you keep this intellect awake and trained? How do you train this intellect? Through consistent knowledge. So, by attending this 21-day course, you're already doing that, right? You are giving your intellect knowledge, and knowledge automatically brings self control. Have you experienced this for yourself? That when you start gaining knowledge about food, like you have in the past few days, automatically some level of self control is coming? Yes, you can see for yourself. Earlier, maybe you felt like eating all kinds of oily, greasy, sugary foods, right? But now that you've been attending the session and you've been feeding the intellect, perhaps the cravings are to some extent going away. But remember, taking knowledge once is not enough. Don't think, now though I've done this program, I've done this course, now I don't need anything. Now I have gained all my knowledge. No. After few weeks, after few months, these concepts may begin to fade from your mind. And then what will happen? You may again go back to your old lifestyle. You don't want that, right? So how do you prevent this from happening? By consistently taking knowledge. A little bit, but every day. So what do you think? After this program, how can you continue to take consistent knowledge? Well, there are many books that you can read. Even if you read just 5 pages every day, it will keep you on track. There are many documentaries you can watch. Even if you commit to watching just one documentary every 1 or 2 weeks, it will help keep you on track. So here are some documentary recommendations. Game Changers is an amazing documentary about plant-based athletes. Deadly Dairy, Cowspiracy, Hungry for Change, Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, What the Health, Forks Over Knives, Global Junk Food, Minimalism, Food Choices. These are all available easily on the internet if you search for it. We will also leave links to these documentaries in the resource section. Here are some book recommendations. The Sattvic Food Book, Nature the Only Healer, Secrets of Wellness, How Not to Die, Rogo Se Bachav, Atomic Habits. These are some wonderful books. Of course, there are many more, but these are select few that we feel are quite easy to read and understand. So basically, till now, what you have learned is that to deal with cravings, you simply have to train the intellect through consistent knowledge. How do you do that? By continually giving your mind this knowledge through the medium of books or documentaries. There may be more mediums, but these are two that you can begin with. The second way to overcome cravings is to replace, don't remove. Don't deprive yourself of the foods you love. I want to share with you something that I experienced when I was just starting my Sattvic journey. So, initially I was very, very strict. I was a bit too strict. I was very religious with everything, and I used to follow everything to the T. And I didn't make any of the desserts using the Sattvic way. I didn't make any of my favorite foods by following Sattvic principles. And eventually what happened, because I was just avoiding all my favorite foods, I was left with a very low contentment balance. In other words, I deprived myself so much over the past few months at that point that after a point, whatever tasty my eyes used to fall on, I used to crave it uncontrollably. My senses, my horses used to run after it. And then one day I would have an outburst and I would eat all those foods that I know are not good for my body uncontrollably. And it was like I never even gained any of this knowledge. Does that happen to you ever? Even after knowing all the harms of dead foods or of refined foods, there comes a time when you're like, enough is enough. I just want my favorite food now. I can't control anymore. Does it happen? And then you end up binge eating? Well, we don't want to fall trap in this cycle because it's a downward cycle. So, what do you do? How do you not fall trap to this? It's easy. Replace, don't remove. I learned this lesson the hard way, but I want to share it with you in the initial times of your journey itself. Replace, don't remove. Well, if you like ice creams a lot, don't deprive yourself of ice cream. Instead, make plant-based ice cream at home using jaggery or using dates and using whole ingredients. If you like pizza a lot, make pizza at home using a whole wheat crust with lots of vegetables. If you like laddus, make nut and date laddus at home. If you like namkeens a lot, then make the namkeens that we shared with you in the recipe handout. And if you like halwa, then don't forget to make the gajar ka halwa that we have in the Sattvic Food Book 1. And if you love chocolate, don't deprive yourself of chocolate. Make chocolate smoothie bowls using cacao powder. I promise you that if you make this right, you will not miss your old sugar-laden processed chocolates. If you were addicted to sodas and aerated drinks, replace them with natural drinks. If you like kheer or Indian desserts, then try the kheer, the Sattvic kheer using almond milk in the Sattvic food book. And if you absolutely love cakes, then please do make sugar-free healthy cakes. It's not like you should make these replacements. If you don't want to fall trap to cravings and this downward spiral of binge eating, you must make these replacements every once in a while to realize how exciting whole food plant-based can get. Every week, commit to trying at least one new Sattvic recipe out that you absolutely love. Make a replacement for it and share it with your friends or your family. You could do this on a Saturday evening or a Sunday morning, whenever you are available. There's so many amazing dishes to try, you know. When I was starting following this Sattvic way of life, honestly, we didn't have so many recipes developed. I had very few options to make at home. So for me, it was a very difficult period when I was starting this way of life. But now we have tens and hundreds of recipes that have been developed for you, present on the Sattvic Movement YouTube channel for free in our books. So please do try those out if you don't want to fall trap to cravings. Now, I want to share something with you. I understand that it's not always possible to make a replacement of everything, right? A lot of things it's easy to replace, but some foods, yeah, we can't replace. What do we do then? Well, once in a while, if you want to indulge, indulge. But when you are doing that, don't have any guilt in your heart. Or after you indulge, don't keep guilt in your heart. Oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. Know fully well while you're indulging that I am making an exception today. I will not let this happen too frequently now. I'm fully aware and I'm mindful that this is an exception and not the norm. And if you can do that, then once in a while, it's okay. Indulge. So, for example, in my life, we make replacements at our home and at the Sattvic headquarters for almost everything. We make whole food, plant-based, sugar-free cakes, we make ice creams, we make desserts, we make mostly everything that you can imagine. But when it comes to Golgappa, I have absolutely loved Golgappa ever since I was a child. And we've tried many times, but we've not been able to crack a Sattvic recipe for Golgappa. And then we stopped trying. But now if I want to have Golgappa, let's say once in 3 weeks, I won't say, no, I am following sattvic lifestyle. I can't absolutely have it. No. Once in a while, I would indulge, knowing fully well that I'm not letting this become the norm. And without having any guilt in my heart while or after I indulge in that food. So we need to know that we don't want to become hardliners about this way of life. If we are following it 90-95% of the time, it's good enough. If we are following this for most of the times, it is good enough. We don't want to become fanatics about this. We want to follow a whole food, plant-based living food diet, but if at a party or if we're going out, if we're traveling, if we have to indulge within limits once in a while, it's okay. So, in short, how do you control cravings? It's a twofold approach. Number one, keep gaining consistent knowledge about the topic so that मन ही ना करे वो चीज़ें खाने का. And actually ऐसा होता है. When you keep following this lifestyle for long enough, your taste buds change. You stop craving those foods that you did earlier because your tongue gets adapted to natural fresh foods as given by nature. And number two, replace, don't remove. When you give your tongue a higher taste, the lower tastes automatically drop. So now we have given you the tools to be able to overcome even this obstacle of cravings. Let's move on to our next hurdle, going out to eat. And for this, I would like to invite Himadri.
Hello everyone. So we have successfully crossed our second hurdle. How can we take care of the cravings? बहुत ही ज़रूरी था इस पे डिस्कस करना. Now we will move to our third hurdle and let's see how we cross that one also, which is going out to eat. Now, this one's a real problem. जैसे we start living a healthy lifestyle, people tend to see us कि now तो you will have to stop eating outside. Now तो you can't go anywhere outside. And such similar questions come in our minds also, right? Questions like, now do I have to stop going out completely? But I don't want to miss out on going out with my friends and family. And even if I step outside, even if I go outside, there's no sattvic food available, there's no healthy food available, no healthy restaurants at all. So all that's written on the screen has been a part of our lives also. They've been our struggles also. And that is why we would like to share with you 3 ways that have helped us in crossing this hurdle of going outside and eating. And we just want to share those 3 ways with all of you. So to understand the first way, we'll watch a short story. It's a role play. So there's a girl Chikki and her mother wants her to come for a dinner with the family. Let's see what she did.
Chiku, why is your room always a mess like this?
Sorry, Mama, I'll clean it when I come back.
Leave this. Tell me, are you free at 8 tonight?
What for?
Banti Chachu, Chiku? Banti Chacha, yeah, I remember. So we've invited him at 8 p.m. Where are we going? I don't remember the exact name, but it's a Chinese restaurant and it's in Sea Scheme. Yeah. Chinese restaurant! Of course! Szechuan noodles. Banti Chachu is coming for dinner tonight, so we've invited him at 8 p.m. Where are we going? I don't remember the exact name, but it's a Chinese restaurant and it's in Sea Scheme. Yeah.
Chinese restaurant?
Yes. Mama, can you give me 5 minutes? I'll just call you. Mama, there's a new restaurant and it has excellent reviews, believe me.
No problem, Chiki.
You can come there.
We can go to this restaurant.
Oh,
So, what message does Sticky have for you? What can you do when you step out to eat? So, pick the restaurant yourself. Whenever possible, choose the restaurant that serves plant-based food. These days, there are many restaurants opening up in different cities of our country and around the world. You can choose the best out of them. And to check whether there is a plant-based restaurant in your city or not, we'll do a quick short activity. You simply have to take your phone, open Google and type plant-based restaurants near me. That's it. You can use keywords like plant-based restaurants, you can use vegan restaurants, healthy restaurants near me, and anything. You can also go over some blogs these days. They're written like top 5 plant-based restaurants in this city, in that city. So you can go either way. Now, after you have found the restaurants, write the names that seem good to you in your ultimate health journal. We'll take a few seconds for this activity. It's a quick activity and I'll meet you right after this. So I hope you all are done with the activity and you all have written some names in your ultimate health journals. Now for those who found, I would like to share what was the intention of this activity. The intention was to realize that options do exist. If you really look for them, there are many restaurants coming up, there are many new options coming up outside. Now the names that you have written in your journals, in the coming next week, in the coming next month, try to go to these places, try to taste the food there. You may like it, you may not like it. There is a possibility that you love the food and it becomes your permanent go-to restaurant, your permanent go-to place. Before we move ahead, there's a very important point that I want to share with all of you. Please do remember that just the tag of vegan or just the tag of plant-based does not necessarily make any recipe, any dish, any restaurant a healthy restaurant. So you always have to use your judgment while choosing the recipe, while choosing the dish from whatever is available in the menu, and make a judgment whichever lies closest to the principles that we have learned in the previous week. You can opt for that one. So don't just blindly go that if it is vegan, if it is plant-based, it has to be healthy. It's not like that. Now you may be thinking, आपने तो कह दिया, you said it so easily, pick the restaurant yourself. Now once the family can agree, कि ठीक है, whatever restaurant you are telling us, we'll go there. Twice the family can agree. Third time they will say, if you want to come, come, otherwise stay at home, we don't want to take you. आप कर लो जो आपको करना है. So this doesn't work always. That is why we have the second option open, which is choose the best from whatever is available in the menu. Yes. Now imagine you have gone to a restaurant which is of your family or your friend's choice. And you have a menu card placed right in front of your eyes and it looks somewhat like this. It has sabzi, breads, chaat, soup, salads, South Indian. Now from this menu, let's choose the best possible option. Let's go section by section, okay? Now in the sabzi we have shahi paneer, paneer lababdar, palak paneer, chili paneer, aloo matar, jeera aloo. Which ones do you think are the best possible out of all of these? Aloo matar, jeera aloo. Best all I can see there is paneer sabzi. ठीक है? We pick up jeera aloo and aloo matar. Then let's go to the bread section. There is stuffed naan. Naan, we all know what it's made of. Naan, then lachha paratha, then there's plain roti. Of course, the best possible option is plain roti. Then in the chaat section, there is tikki chaat, chana chaat, dahi bhalla chaat. Chana chaat seems like a good option. In the soup section, we have clear vegetable soup, we have tomato soup. Both of them seem good. In the salad section, we have plain salad, chickpea salad, mixed sprout salad, cottage cheese salad, and paneer Greek salad. So, plain salad, chickpea salad, mixed sprout salad are good options to go ahead with. In the South Indian section, let's check. We have masala dosa, paneer dosa, vegetable utpam, paneer utpam, cheese utpam, masala dosa, vegetable utpam, plain simple food, good options. Now this menu that you see in front of your eyes is just a sample menu that was created by us to give you an idea how you can make the best possible choice out of the options that are available to you. So even if we have to go to a very general restaurant, we can find out a way. Okay, so pick the restaurant yourself. If you don't have plant-based restaurants available, choose the best from whatever is available. Now, in this restaurant also, we found pretty good options. There were some dishes, some recipes in the menu that were sounding great, so we chose them. Now just imagine it's your best friend's birthday bash or some other family party, and they have decided that they want to go to a typical Chinese restaurant, and the name is Chinese Chatkara. Just imagine. And there in the whole menu you can't find anything to eat. You are like sitting there and thinking isme kya milega khane ka, all of that. But it's your best friend's party. You have to take care of the emotions of your friend also. Well, now that Chikki that we saw in the previous video, she's in the same situation, and let's see what she does. This time her mother didn't agree with the restaurant of her choice. Let's find out how she managed.
Where are we going? I don't remember the exact name, but it's a Chinese restaurant and it's in Sea Scheme. Yeah. Yes. There's a new restaurant named as Greener and it has excellent. Chicky, what is this natak every time? Mama, I just don't like eating outside. You guys carry on. I don't wanna come.
This you don't have to do. What do you have to do? Let's find out.
Chicky, what is this natak every time? Acha mama, if the booking is done, I'll come. Mushroom chili chai, chow mein, Szechuan, chili garlic, fried rice, Hakka noodles. What can I eat here? Mostly all of this is made up of maida.
All of these items have maida, which goes and sticks inside the walls of your intestines.
Yes, ma'am. Your order, please?
You don't have any plant-based options?
No, ma'am. No plant-based options.
Acha. Can you get some simple sorted vegetables?
No. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Sorted vegetables are not available.
Why is it not possible? You just have to take some vegetables and saute them a little.
All right. This I can try, ma'am.
Yeah. And can you get some brown rice with it?
No, madam. No brown rice. I have mushroom rice, chili garlic rice, fried rice, Szechuan rice. All for you, madam.
No. Don't get all of this. Simply some sorted vegetables with normal steamed rice. Yeah, that will work. And one more small request. Don't add any milk or milk products. I'm allergic to it.
Noted, ma'am.
And use as little oil as possible.
Okay, madam. I'll get your order.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Alright, so make the waiter your friend is our third way out. Don't ever think that the menu is only limited to what's written on the card. So many times I've personally used this technique to request the waiter to tweak the recipes a little, to change the ingredients a little, and most times the waiter, the chef very happily agree to it. तो taste भी है, family भी है, health भी है. So to summarize all 3 points together, whenever possible, pick the place yourself, choose restaurants that have options available for you. But if that's not possible, choose the best amongst whatever is available or request the waiter to adapt the dishes as much as possible. Please remember that these are just some guidelines, these are just some guiding principles, they are not rules that you have to follow. They are those things that have helped us in our personal journeys, and hence we shared it with all of you. While you walk this path, as you go ahead in this journey, you'll find your own ways to solve these problems, and many answers will unfold as we walk this path. So with this, we have successfully crossed our third hurdle, which was going out to eat. Now I would like to invite Subha to get us across the fourth and the final hurdle.
Now, maybe as you were receiving the sessions and the knowledge in the last few days, you were thinking that this is great, but how will I socialize now? Who will I hang out with? Will I always be the odd one out at gatherings? Will I have to be a loner? Absolutely not. You need to know that association, sangha, is a crucial aspect of this lifestyle, of living this lifestyle. 3 months from now, whether you will be able to sustain it or not, to a large extent depend on your association, on who you are surrounding yourself with. The power of association is tremendous. In Sanskrit, the word for association is sangha. And there was a beautiful quote by Swami Vivekanand, which my father taught me a few years back, and it really stuck with me. So listen carefully. It said, "The raindrop from the sky, if it is caught in hands, it is pure enough for drinking. If it falls in the gutter, its value drops so much that it can't be used even for washing feet. If it falls on a lotus leaf, it shines like a pearl. And if it falls on an oyster, it becomes a pearl." So the drop is the same, but its existence and worth depends on whom it associates with. जो बादलों में से पानी की बूंद गिरी थी वो तो सेम थी, लेकिन उस बूंद ने अपने आप को किस चीज से सराउंड किया, किस चीज से एसोसिएट किया, वो वैसी ही बन गई. So you have to ask yourself, who do you associate with? If you're always around those people who are pulling you down, who are discouraging you from following this lifestyle, who are opposing every choice that you make, well, guess what? No matter how much conviction you have, no matter how much belief you have over this way of living, you will not be able to live it. You will not be able to follow it. So what do you need to do? You need to find your Sattvic tribe. In the long term, you need to build a strong community of like-minded people who understand your choices, who encourage you to be better. Imagine having a company of friends who live the Sattvic life with you, who understand your values and who live the same values. Won't it make it so much easier? How many of you wish you could meet others who are taking this course with you? How many of you wish you had people who could support you in your journey? How many of you wish you could meet your Sattvic tribe? Well, if you said yes, then for you, introducing
Find Your Tribe Potluck. So hello everyone, my name is Harsh and I'm here to tell you more about the Find Your Tribe Potluck.
So Harsh, Like, what is this going to be about? Like, how is the community going to organize this?
It's actually a very, very simple process. We're going to tell you more about it right now. First things first, it's going to be a group of 20 people who join the potluck. There aren't going to be too many people such that you feel lost in a crowd, so that you actually get to know each other and taste each other's dishes.
But Harsh, where are these potlucks going to be organized?
So these potlucks are going to be organized in your homes. Yes, later today we'll be telling you about how you can apply to host a potluck.
And what does each person have to do?
Each of you have to just simply make a dish that you love using the Sattvic principles that you have learnt so that you can bring it and everyone else can taste what you brought.
And what will they do at the potluck?
Lots of fun, lots of eating, lots of games, and lots of different activities that you're going to experience in the potluck. Not only are you going to taste each other's foods, you actually connect with each other, and you'll be going back from that potluck with a new family, a new tribe. And we are hosting it this Sunday. Yes, today is Tuesday, and it's going to be happening this Sunday in 4 days, where it'll start at 12 o'clock and end at 4 o'clock. So, my friends, this is how the potluck's going to be organized, and I deeply, deeply wish and hope each of you can get to be a part of one. Remember, friends, this is not a paid event, it's a free event. It's going to be hosted by the community for the community. It's going to be hosted by you for you. Sattvic Movement's role is simple, just to connect you to each other so that you can have each other to support each other as you progress on this journey.
Let's take a look at what the day will look like when you go for one of the potlucks. So you have to reach the venue at 12 p.m. From 12 to 1, we'll have an icebreaker session just so you can get comfortable with the others who are joining. From 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock is when you'll actually have lunch, the potluck lunch. 2 to 3, we'll have a sharing circle when you'll get a chance to understand others' journeys, their health journeys. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. we'll have some fun, exciting activities. So yeah, that's what the plan's going to tentatively look like. Now, for these potlucks, you can either choose to be a host or an attendee. So maybe Harsh, you can explain a little bit more about what the responsibilities for each of these roles
Sure.
will be.
So it's very simple. You can either choose to be a host or an attendee. Let's understand a little bit more about what it means to be a host. First thing, as a host, you need ample space in your house to accommodate 20 people. Now, you don't need a big lavish house. A simple house is enough. But just maybe a hall or a living room where 20 people can fit together. Second, through the course of the next few days, you need to have sufficient time to organize and plan the event. Just managing the logistics, making sure everyone has the address and things like that. So you need to have sufficient time this week if you want to be a host.
But how much time per day approx?
I mean, it's not like you need 3 hours or 4 hours per day, but just make sure you don't have any busy plans or you're not traveling this week, because then you're not going to be able to organize the potluck. So just if you have free space in your mind to think, that's enough. This is for you if you love people. So being a host is a lot of fun because you get to invite others to your homes, get to meet them, and have lots of fun with them. But if you can't be an host, you can choose to be an attendee. Now, as an attendee, you have to do just one thing. You have to prepare a dish of your choice, following the Sattvic principles that you've learned in the UHC, and bring it to the potluck so that others can try what you have made. I
That
hope,
seems exciting.
yeah, it is really exciting. We've done this before and it's a lot of fun.
The last time we did it, how many potlucks were happening all across India?
So the first time we did it, we had 40 potlucks, and the second time we did it, I think we had more than 100 potlucks happening at the same time.
Can you imagine 100 potlucks happening at the same time, spread across India, and some were even happening
Outside the world.
outside,
Yeah.
not outside the world,
Outside India, outside
India. Yeah.
But yeah, we can't wait to see what magic y'all can create, because you know what? Y'all are amazing.
So here's a short video showing a glimpse of what some of our previous potlucks look like.
Come, let's watch.
experience of being a host at the Satvik Potluck in Pondicherry, Oroville was absolutely heartwarming.
My experience, all in all, was just amazing. I'm still in touch with all community members who came to my place.
When I first hosted, I was thinking, how will I be able to do this in a short span of time? But trust me, Satvik team will handhold you in such a way that all your doubts and fears will disappear like a wink.
Was it difficult being the host? Not at all. It was a piece of cake. We specifically told the host not to prepare any dishes so that we can focus our time and energy on getting the place ready, getting the games ready, decorating the place. It was so much fun, so much joy. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Being a host, I do not have to prepare food for all the people. All I have to do is I just have to show love and care for them. And yeah, a big space in my heart was needed to give a warm welcome to all of them.
It's so beautifully crafted. I didn't have to cook for anyone. I just had to coordinate. And how do I coordinate? What are the things that we are going to bring in for lunch? How do I plan? How do I communicate with our participants that day? It was all so well laid out, and the UHC team was hand-holding us through the entire process. There were 2 meetings that I held. Harsh personally came and answered the questions. So it was very well laid out.
Amazing. Each one of them brought in some amazing Satvik recipes. Some were their own recipes that were made using no oil and no dairy and stuff like that. So it was an amazing experience to know that food can be made like this also, particularly for the newbies.
For me, I didn't even know so many people around. They live nearby and they follow Satvik lifestyle. I have so many new friends because of Satvik movement.
I remember so many of us were in tears of joy and gratitude, just sharing our experiences of what we had learned during the UHC and how we were applying it in our lives, how it was transforming our lives.
But this is the community that is going to be very, very precious to you, who believe what you believe in. So you don't feel out of place when you're with this set of people.
And I remember by the end of the day, I think it was 7 p.m. and no one was ready to leave. We were having so much of fun that literally no one wanted to leave the place.
Just the way Subha says, for 40% you get by attending the session and 60% through challenges. So take this as a challenge. You'll experience much more than you can ever think of.
The advice that I would give to somebody who is even slightly thinking about becoming a host for the potluck, my only advice would be don't miss the privilege.
yeah, as you saw in the video, these potlucks are really a lot of fun. I remember in the last few Ultimate Health Challenge programs that we had, when we asked people by the end of the program that what was your most memorable moment in the 21 days, many of them, I would say majority of them mentioned the potluck. So if you are available this Sunday, then don't miss this opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity to meet this kind of a tribe who you can actually follow this lifestyle with. Now, if you want to be a host, what do? You have to fill out a form. We'll tell you all about it, but it's essentially a form that you have to fill out immediately after the session. We're sharing the link of the form with you right now. We will also make sure to make this form available on our UHC dashboard, so you'll be able to find it very easily, don't worry. But please fill it out today itself, and preferably, if you are sure you want to do this, then fill it out immediately after the session. By 2 p.m., we will be closing this form. If you want to be an attendee, on the other hand, as of now, you don't have to do anything. Depending on how many hosts we get in your region, we will give you an update tomorrow. All right. So now you also have the tools to overcome the fourth hurdle. And congratulations, because with this, you have not just completed today's session, but you have also completed habit 2. To eat living, wholesome, plant-based. You've received the knowledge, and you have also received the tools to make this lifestyle practical for yourself. And now, what do you think it's time for? It's time for the daily challenge. So it's a very important challenge today. You have to write what's one biggest obstacle you think you will face when you embark on this journey, and how do you plan to overcome it. So you have to write this down. You turn to a fresh page in your Ultimate Health Journal, and you have to write down, your prompt is, one biggest obstacle I will face is ... You write your response. Second paragraph, I plan to overcome it by ... You write your response. And you have to share either a write-up or a video in the Ultimate Health group, or you could simply share a photo of what you have written in your Ultimate Health Journal. But please do post on the Ultimate Health group, because as I shared with you before, even though this course is recorded, we make sure we go through every post that is shared over there. Here's a summary of exactly where we are at with this challenge. Tomorrow, we are finally going to start habit 3. This is a habit that's going to be completely new. It's not about food anymore. This habit will give you the tools to feel and look younger. This habit is a secret that will dramatically boost your immune system, a secret that will give you sharper, clearer memory, ability to focus for long periods of time. It's nature's super energizer. Can you guess what this habit is going to be about? Well, I'm not telling you right now. You will find out when you come for tomorrow's session. With that, let us move on to the quote for the day. Start seeing obstacles as tests, because that's what they really are. Obstacles are nothing more than tests designed to measure how seriously you want the rewards you are seeking. So my dearest Sattvic family, don't let an obstacle stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and run away. No. Figure out how to climb that wall and get through it or work around it. There is a solution to every obstacle. And with that, we have come to an end of day 9 of the Ultimate Health Challenge. Quick reminder, those of you who are wanting to be hosts for the Find Your Tribe potluck, please fill out the form that we talked about immediately after this session. You will find the form link on our UHC dashboard. With that, Sattvic Movement signing off day 9. I will see you tomorrow. ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है। आती है आंधियाँ तो कल उनका खैर मकदम, आती है आंधियाँ तो कल उनका खैर मकदम, तूफान से ही तो लड़ने खुदा ने तुझे गढ़ा है। ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है। अग्नि में तप के सोना है और भी निखरता, अग्नि में तप के सोना है और भी निखरता, दुर्गम को पार करके हिमालय कोई चढ़ा है। लाएगी रंग मेहनत आखिर तुम्हारी एक दिन, लाएगी रंग मेहनत आखिर तुम्हारी एक दिन, होगा विशाल तरुवर ये बीज जो पड़ा है। ये मत कहो खुदा से मेरी मुश्किलें बड़ी हैं, ये मुश्किलों से कह दो मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है, मेरा खुदा बड़ा है। वो सर्व शक्तियों से जब साथ है हमारे, वो सर्व शक्तियों से जब साथ है हमारे, हर काम उसके रहते आसानियों से हुआ है। कभी हार ना हिम्मत का कदम बढ़ाओ, कभी हार ना हिम्मत का कदम बढ़ाओ, हजारों